hey everybody, I haven't seen you in a while. I mean, well actually, to be fair, I really have never seen you because I can't see through a camera. How many YouTubers have made that joke? So after I got back from vacation, I was going through Stuff Mom Never Told You YouTube messages that I had missed, and I had a lot of unanswered questions from a user named Hattrick. I know you want to know about clitoral rings. I can't do that video right now. Instead, I wanted to tackle Hattrick's question, why are women so picky? Men want a turkey and bacon sandwich with mayo. Women want the bread lightly toasted, bacon cooked well, only a little mayo, and cut the bread diagonally. I do think that you're onto something absolutely, that there is an assumption that women are pickier than men. But I gotta be honest with you, when I first read this question, my initial reaction was something along the lines of, are you kidding? My unproductive, sarcastic response to a question like, why are women so picky is, why are men so picky? Men are most of the politicians in the United States who are really picky about what women can and can't do with their own bodies. Men are insanely picky. It is such a prime example of how we have this troublesome tendency to collapse individuals into one sandwich order. It reminds me of another message sitting in the Stuff Mom Never Told You inbox from a fellow wanting to know, why do women never stop thinking? They have bad hair days. They're worried about looking fat in outfits. They're worried about if they have sex too soon that they will, quote, seem like whores. Take that a few steps back and say, why are these even issues that women would be thinking about to begin with? On this question of gender and pickiness, particularly when it comes to dating behaviors, the assumption is that in a very heteronormative context, women are extremely picky about the kinds of men that they want to mate. Also the assumption too that, well, men will just sleep with whomever is walking by because they're just sexual creatures, boys will be boys, etc. Which, honestly, this is doing a disservice both to women and men. A study published in the journal Psychological Science in 2009 tipped that entire stereotype on its head. What the psychologists did was set up a speed dating scenario where they first had men sit down and then have the women rotate through all of the different speed dating stations, and then they flipped the script and had women sit down and had men do the rotating. And the researchers found that individuals' level of pickiness in whom they found attractive and wanted to see again had very little correlation to their outward makeup, but rather their position, whether they were sitting or rotating. Specifically, people who were rotating around were far more selective than people who were sitting still, the ones who were the dating gatekeepers, so to speak. This relates to our modern heterosexual dating landscape, where even with apps like Tinder that supposedly democratize the whole scenario, the general script is for men to do the approaching and women to do the waiting and the selecting. Even if we look directly at Hattrick's example of the sandwich, where guys just want a basic sandwich, they don't need any frills, whereas women need their bacon cooked just so. And in fact, could you make that tempeh bacon and lightly toast the bread? And oh, by the way, is that whole grain bread? And I would like 2 pickles, not 3, etc. Studies on food pickiness have also found that it has nothing to do with gender or even biological sex so much as our genetics. There's an entire article on this in Smithsonian Magazine that I will link to in the description if you want to read more about it, on how our genes and mother's breast milk play a very strong role in our level of food neophobia or pickiness. One of the studies I was looking at on children's food pickiness found a higher proportion of boys who are picky eaters than girls in its study sample. That's just one study sample, but I will say of all the studies that I found, gender, both in children and adults, when it comes to picky eating, was not a statistically significant factor. When it comes to this question of why are women so picky, it seems like it's more a question of why does society perceive women to be pickier? Now that I've said my picky piece, I want to hear from you. Do you think that men or women are pickier, or that it's just one massive stereotype that we need to dismantle? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to ask me your questions because I'm back and I want to answer your questions. That's not how that should have gone. One quick housekeeping item. I'm thinking of doing my YouTube videos, of which I make 4 per week, based around a weekly theme. I want to offer more room for us to have better, deeper, and more productive conversations. So let me know if you like that idea in general, and if there are any weekly themes that you would like me to focus on. Please, please, please comment below, or you can always tweet me at Cristen Conger. Bye guys, and girls, and whatever you call yourself.